Maybe. There we go. Easy. So easy to get it with that one. I hope probably not. I don't think we're going to see it. It could always happen. We had a Bastion. We didn't expect that. But hey, only God whipped it out.
I've got to say, if we keep on seeing more triple DPS, throw me out. I'm not going to keep on enjoying this triple DPS defense because that was just... I don't know. I see better things in competitive, and that tells the whole story. It's nuts. Honestly, it's craziness.
Yet to have a Symmetra, so no.
True. Very true.
She'll get fixed eventually. They'll find a way to do something with her.
Another remake?
Maybe. I don't know. We're not on the balance team. That's up for Blizzard to decide. We're just here to talk about the game. So going into game 3, Angry Titans. That's a disband. This is where we start to see, is it going to be a repeat of Trials, or will we have a different outcome?
Well, generally what we've seen throughout the day, the general theme is one team seems to take over or at least have a strong showing on the pole. Then as soon as we get into the second map, you start seeing the team who's going to consistently be the stronger. We said before, control maps, it's all about that whole skirmish piece. It's all about showing that you're better in these team fights and picking off key members. Whereas here, you still kind of get the same sort of thing, but you've got to do it consistently. And we always say consistency is key. This is the map where you've got to show it, because the consistency is everything for a 2CP.
Let's see if they can get a consistently solid lineup when they're picking these heroes. I know they were messing around a little bit on defense. We often look to these guys first because they're going to have to, obviously, they have less time to mess around with their picks than the offensive team. So now they've started to get their bearings a little bit. We can see that the Ana is going to kill herself, so bearings have not been found.
Do you think he's just got sick and tired of the triple DPS as well?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? But we've got Kasaws on Zenyatta, Barbie on that Diva. Loves that Diva. Potentially a one-trick on that one at the moment. Mouse on the Tracer, Track on the Soldier, and Limit opting for the Winston on defense this time.
I kind of would have liked to see a Ryan here because the strength of the Winston shield, as we all know, isn't fantastic. Like, it's very easy to burst through. I feel if you're going to hold this gate, it's not too bad. Again, the flexibility and the maneuverability of getting to the high ground easily is a big one, but they need something to hold down this front line, or at least something to hold the point in safety.
You can't stop the Slambulance, and that's what's coming out from Angry Titans. Let's see if they rush through this one and get onto the point.
Here they go.
Already using that movement speed. Where's that front line to stop this absolute monster truck from getting onto the point?
A Reinhardt would have done no good here. They would have just steamrolled him. It would have literally been like a swarm of flies coming over and leaving bones. There would have been nothing left. So I'm happy actually that they've gone for the Winston here. It works well. Good guess to get the Slambulance comp guessed out. Now they've got to try and defend this point.
But now they've got to find a way back onto this point. They're blocking nearly every hole. Nice hook onto Kasaws. And Urki, he's a lot better at that Roadhog than he is at the Genji, apparently.
Absolutely is. But again, they flick things around. It looks like the aggressing team is now the defensive team because they're the ones holding the point down. IPM finds himself a couple of kills, and Mouse is starting to trade one back. Both Divas demet. One of them has already been taken out of the map. Mouse is on point. There's a good contest coming through. If they can shut him down, it's more potential capture points for them, but there are very few members left on this side of that's a disband to hold the point down. Looks like it's going to go over to the Angry Titans.
I've got to give credit to the Angry Titans tanks at the moment. Ana has been fantastic at landing these biotic grenades and shutting down the healing. Look what Angry Titans do immediately though. They adapt. Reinhardt backs himself into a corner, stops Mouse from having those angles to whittle him down while he can't get that healing from his support lineup. So they are adapting to it. Mouse did manage to successfully catch out Lolsish, but it could have been a lot worse. They weren't as proactive as they were.
Well, we were slightly worried about Angry Titans after their performance on Hollywood, but that was a very convincing, aggressive push. It's the kind of thing that we saw from them on the first map. Question is now, can they do it 2 maps in a row? They're going to go straight onto it once again, and here we are, Tridd.
Locking it down right away. Pulse Bomb finds Lolsish straight away, so that's a huge hit to their composition. And now a Fox spraying that laser beam everywhere. Only God's taking a little bit of a nap. He's fully charged though. That could have been the game breaker. Ludic's jumped off the map, or he's been forced off there. They're resetting this entirely. Angry Titans know they can't keep the momentum for point B.
So that's the disband finally find their feet and say to Angry Titans, this is not a whitewash. Let's breathe. Let's take a few moments to readdress what situation we're in. Angry Titans, though, they've got that Zarya ultimate. We've seen a couple of times what that ultimate can do when it's combo well with something else.
Lolsish finding Track as well quickly there.
Bunny hop.
Yeah, a little bit of bunny hop. Love doing that. Can never do that in my own games. I can do it. I can do it when I don't actually need to do it. That's the worst part about it. But a Graviton Surge, he's sitting on that nice and tightly.
Ooh.
Not got the combination with at the moment. A lot of bursts coming up from behind. Mouse is still being that tick on the backside, and Tri-Spear taken straight down with a Helix Rocket and a nice little burst. But Urki can't run away from the lightning as he gets zapped down. And IPN, the self-destruct sequence, finally shuts down the pain in their ass that is Mouse. And they're looking to try and reconvene and get themselves through that front door and get on that point.
Well, look at that's a disband as well. They got 4 ultimates on side. They make it 5 because Track's about to get his online as well. They have a lot of tools here to defend successfully. The question is, can they hold long enough? Can they hold for 5 minutes to prevent Angry Titans from going through the full cap?
maybe not 5 minutes, but they've got a lot of elements at their disposal. So Grabbers on Surge actually found no one, it looks like, and now Track is cutting through. That's how you play Genji, and that's how you use a Dragon Blade.
I'll use 2 ults. They've still got 3 available to them for the next defense when it comes to it. Just trying to stagger here a little bit. Only God knows. Going to walk close towards the side of the map before they will drop him down in the final seconds. In fact, no. They're going to let him walk. Goodbye, Oni.
Well,
you are not for this world.
It's not like a D.Va where you can body block it, right? Azari's a little bit bigger, can have that damage threat if charged enough. And what are you going to do? You just pops on the shield and she's going to walk forward. You try and stop her, try and knock her back. You just give her more energy, so she's going to deal more damage. It's not like the mini D.Va.
Yeah, in this case it was more they wanted to drop her. She just used the shield. In that case it was kind of a, I'll let her walk to her own death, it's no problem for us. However, for that's a Disband once again, more ults are back on board. They've got the Transcendence being brought out here by Kasaurus.
Yeah, he's going to keep everyone alive in this point. You can see Urki trying to whittle down Track, but he can't quite do it. The tables have been flipped entirely on this one, and now he's going to be burst down by Mouse as A-Fox is cut down. Winston's going up high. Limit is looking for his opposite man. He's going to punch him back. He's no retreat for you. I think there's a Discord on him as well. He's gone up high. Can he whittle him down even further? He's starting to get support from his team. While that chaos is going on, Mouse still running amok. He finds IPN, and they go back to defending this point.
So that's a Disband. Have used pretty much all of their ults here. So good job by Angry Titans to keep hold of their own. They've got 3 ultimates to go for a big push here. They'll want to try and get at least 1 defensive ult online before they go for the big play. You're going to probably need that Transcendence. It wouldn't be so bad if you have the Mercy one. But on that's a Disband, if they go for the wipe and bring down your supports, everything else, it doesn't matter what ult you use, it's going to fall apart from the back.
Really whittled down the clock
on
this one. Here comes the Dragon Blade to shut him down. A-Fox. No, he's taken out by Lolshis. You can't deflect lightning. There's a bomb in the middle of the courtyard. Who's going to be a victim? Barbecue. They're starting to turn this around, and they've got Limit on the board as well. This could be huge for That's a Disband. They need to get themselves onto that point, though.
Pulled the trigger maybe a little bit early there. It would have been really good to hold on to that ultimate from the Soldier, but instead they've kept the other 2. They've got hold of the 2 tank ultimates, and they're not too far off getting the Mercy ult to come through as well. Things looking okay for them, but so far That's a Disband are definitely pushing back with a lot of aggression and denying any of these plans that Angry Titans are showing.
Well, Ludi is so close to that Valkyrie as well. That could really help him out in the next fight. And A-Fox still got a little bit of way to go with the Transcendence, but he's definitely closer to it than Consours is. They keep forcing this high ground as well. Haven't tried to mix it up for the past couple of attempts. And I think That's a Disband are getting comfortable up here. They're just jumping down and reacting brilliantly. Huge biotic grenade shuts down all the healing. But Angry Titans fighting back, found Track, and here's the knockback onto Lolshis as well. And they've just pinned him in the corner. Monkey's going to brawl it in the courtyard, and A-Fox with the Discord Orb is going to take down Limit. And where is the rest of the team? They've just gone back onto the point. Nice little tag coming out there. Track moving on to that Widowmaker. This is something we wanted to see from him. And now Kasaur's going for the 1v1 with Only God. This Widowmaker might not be enough. Sprays through and finds him out the spawn. Angry Titans, they got starting to get some ticks on the board. Stalling coming out from Winston. They got a bubble shield there. Can't stall out long enough. There's too many bodies on the point. You're starting to drip feed through, but they've got 2 in contention at the moment.
Nice, nice. That's a Disband starting to pick up multiple kills on this one. At least managed to fight the way back once again. So for a second that looked a bit shaky for Angry Titans. Big question for me was why on earth they were trying to push for the high ground when the point was being contested. You're basically giving yourself away that first chunk there. They could have held that and contested it in time. Either way, everything ended up on the point. Angry Titans finally find something, but it may not be enough to be able to win this map.
1 segment of point B down, 1 minute 30 to go. That's not a very efficient rate coming out for the Angry Titans after such a dominant performance on point A. They're going for that top right angle again. Going to try and take the high ground, jump down onto that Disband. But it's repeating the same thing over and over again and hoping for a different result. If they get a different result, it's huge, but unlikely it's going to happen. Anyway, A-Fox finds Miles. That could be the game changer as one of the key DPS has been taken out already. Lolshis Only God with the backline attack as well. Urki onto Track, and now forced out of Transcendence. Huge stall. No one's really getting healed by that. Barbecue can sustain it. Here comes Mouse back onto the point, and the rest of Angry Titans, they've jumped away.
And they're going to get the Trace coming down as well. Barbecue is going to chase them onto the high ground. Does manage to bring down Lolshis. A Mouse will follow up for a kill onto Urki. So a good, again, this counter-aggression we see coming out of That's a Disband. We've seen this 4 or 5 times in a row now that when Angry Titans lose a fight, That's a Disband. Don't let them back off. They chase them down and stagger them. And that is what is costing Angry Titans. They're not getting the ult charge they need. They're not getting the opportunities they need. This is their last push.
30 seconds is definitely the last push region we're in, and especially if they get staggered from this as well. No chance of a second. 20 seconds. Tanks leading the way, going up onto the high ground. They have to get a clean white. A-Fox start things off nicely by taking out Tri-Spear. Support on support action is always grand. And there's another one for A-Fox. He's popping off more than the DPS are. Moves on to Track. They found another member of the Angry Titans team. Sorry, that's the Disband team, and the self-destruct sequence on the point should be able to clear and make some space. Transcendence keeping everyone alive, but here's the Primal Rage from Limit, keeping him nice and topped up on health. He's jumped off the point. He's allowing progress to be made. Locious willing it down on Barbecue. That's a nano boosted Genji, I believe, jumping into the fray. Where are the kills coming out? The rest of That's a Disband come out in full force, clear the point, and they do not allow a second capture for the side of Angry Titans.
I know now why they're called Angry Titans, Tridd. That must have been so frustrating to play that one out. They must be so annoyed at how that progress went for them, because time and time again, That's a Disband were just happy to go, sure guys, we'll deal with this. You come and play your aggressive side, we're going to push you right back, and we're going to stagger you on the retreat. Really, really well played second defense by That's a Disband. Considering they got wiped so early on the first point, that's the kind of play I want to see. Now, very curious to see how they choose to play out this attack. If they manage to get hold on that first point, it's going to make it a lot harder when it comes to that second point push, because Angry Titans struggled. You're probably going to find it's going to be the same case with That's a Disband, unless they go for that double rollover and get 2 points in quick succession.
Let's see who's setting up for what. So we know Angry Titans ran the Slambulance last round, the quad tank. Now they're looking to go Urki potentially on this Sombra, and Only God with the Tracer. So running a 2-2-2, something a little bit more standard than we'd expect from these more creative compositions we've seen Angry Titans trying to roll with earlier on in this series, especially with Only God. Now that's a Disband. They still need to pick what heroes they're going to take yet. They've got plenty of time, so please don't get caught off guard by that, ladies and gents.
I ain't going to say a word. I'm not saying nothing, mate.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful and optimistic, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because that's one thing we haven't touched on a huge amount. I'm going to do what you just asked me not to do. I apologise sincerely. Trax Widow, we saw it a couple of times in trials. It was incredible. The number of duels he went into and walked away as the winner. It wasn't just in the air as Pharah, it was also on the ground as this Widow. If he chooses to pull it out here, that could be really big for them. However, I don't fully expect it. You tend to see the Widowmaker coming out on the defensive side if you see her at all.
He did bring it out for a little bit of point B on the defense there, but wasn't having the impact they wanted to switch back to the Genji afterwards. Maybe he might be able to use it to find that quick pick off the gate. Keep her on if it's having some success, but it might be for the pick and then switch off to something else and then be a little bit more aggressive with the positioning, shall we say, than sitting back as far as you need to on the Widow. You see Mouse, he's picked up the Tracer, so if it looks like Trax is going to keep on this just out the gate, getting that damage boost as well. So here, he's going to peek through the gate, see what he can find, already chipping away at some of these tanks.
Yeah, like as well, they've got the Reinhardt at the front of the gate here. We spoke about that last time round. Ultimately, it was at the cost of That's a Disband, but Angry Titans saying, right, we are holding here. We are not letting you through. In fact, we're not going to let you anywhere at this point. Tridd as Lordship storms his way through the team, and they completely wipe out That's a Disband.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're playing back on a team like this. You've basically not got any aggression, you've not got any momentum. As soon as Angry Titans feel they have the advantage, they pull the trigger and they go, okay, see you later. They're going to run them through there and knock them all the way back. And this is what Angry Titans need. They know that they haven't capped that point B. If they can stop That's a Disband on point A, job's a good one.
I like as well keeping Kasoras on the Mercy for that res if needed, but at this point, Track more than happy to bring down Onigol, one of the players we've had an eye on today. Make that too as he brings down the Moira as well. Definitely starting to rack up some kills on that Widow, but more importantly, on the point Tridd, there's a fight going on.
Yeah, they're all getting bursted down at the moment. Mouse is finding these really cool angles to try and take him out, and Track from the back line has been getting those shots, and it's been paying them dividends as they've cleared off the rest of the point. Angry Titans, they've lost control of point A on the second attempt from That's a Disband.
Cool, so it wasn't quite the first like we saw from Angry Titans, but it was still a pretty convincing capture by That's a Disband. Now, when they're all this time in the time bank, can they make this second point work? They've got almost 7 minutes to play with. That's a lot of time. However, it took Angry Titans about that same amount of time to get half a... Wow.
Well, Track's already taken down Lottie. Urki's about to have the no fun allowed button available to him, and he immediately gets jumped on.
That's the no fun party.
Yeah, the no fun party is you take out our supports, we jump on you. Meanwhile, the action's going on. Barbie actually punished both IPN and Lolshish for that aggressive shutdown. Meanwhile, they're on the point, and they can't be giving that away. Here comes a hack to disable everyone in the fight. Bye to your mech, Barbecue. You're by yourself getting healed up by Kasoras. Angry Titans, though, they can't be letting that much progress be made when you've only got to get 50% to win.
Worst thing there as well was I think Barbie actually had the ultimate available but couldn't use it because he got dropped down. And once again, getting picked out here, that's going to be it. That's a Disband with some smart play, some great Widowmaker play. Take us to 2-1.
Oh, hello, mister. I don't think he's going to play Widow on offense. He plays Widow on offense, and he makes it look easy.
He did, and I'll say, first point I was concerned. Second, I don't mind so much because of the long angles, and we always see it. But first point, I'm always a bit unsure of. However, well played, Track, showing me completely wrong there as well, and playing it very, very well. At first, he got wiped out by Lolsish on the Ryan. I was like, all right, maybe they go for the swap here, they go for the dive, they get beyond the Reinhardt and go for the point itself. He was like, no, we make this work 100%, we commit. And while commit they did, second fight, easy win. So
that's a great score at the moment. That's a Disband. They're changing history at the moment. They're not going to have that 3-1 scoreline they had against Angry Titans in Trials. They've now taken that additional game. Maybe they'll be the ones who turn around with the 3-1. Maybe they'll be the ones who come out here with the win. Or could this be the first time we go to a 5th map?
What I'm really curious to see is we've seen some crazy stuff out of Angry Titans today. They've just lost a map. Why are there 2 maps that we can choose from here, Tridd?
Ooh, the 2 maps we
Dorado
can choose
and Junkertown.
from.
It's going to be Dorado.
Oh, no, don't you mean the 1 map we can choose from? Because no one's picking Junkertown at the moment.
I'm still convinced at some point we'll see a team just go, you know what, we need an advantage here. Let's just go for something completely crazy and play Junkertown. But Dorado seems to be the map of choice for today. So we'll be jumping onto that one very shortly. Now, Dorado, we've seen it quite a few times today so far. We've seen a mix of strategies coming through. We've seen the Pharah come out already. What does Track play? Pharah. This could be his big map.
He also plays a pretty good Widow, as we've seen.
Yes, as we've seen.
And we've seen Widowmakers being picked up on this as well, often as an option to shut down Pharahs or just to get those early pickoffs on Dorado. So it is both. There's quite a versatile hero pool for Track on this final map.
I'm very curious to see, though, on Angry Titans, who would pick out the Widow in this case. Which of the DPS players would you stick on it in this case? Not 100% sure who they'll go towards. Maybe only got to play it, given he's played pretty much every hero in the game at this point. He's picked up a lot of stuff. It's
a viable option for them, but with someone like Only God, I think we kind of have to wait and see what he's going to produce rather than make predictions, because they go out the window straight away. We just have to kind of accept that.
We would never. We could have sat here for hours and talked about the game. We never would have said Bastion on the poll, 100%.
We'll request next week that we get a whiteboard. We can start doing some calculations, maybe. See if we can try and work out what it's
some probability potentials of what he's going to pick today. Or maybe we just spin the wheel like he does and whatever it lands on, he picks.
Wheel of Fortune. I would rather go for the coefficient of cheese and see what we can find out with that one. But we're going to jump into game 4 very shortly. The scoreline currently 2-1 in favor of That's a Disband. And this final series, it's kind of delivering at the moment, Des.
Yeah, and let's not forget, just to kind of go back to a point we touched on earlier on, these teams played 2 weeks ago, and in that case, Angry Titans walked away the victor 3-1. You wouldn't have expected a whole ton to change in that 2-week window, but it seems like something has. Whether or not it's Angry Titans have lost the plot a little bit, because it's starting to feel that way with some of the picks they're picking up on the triple DPS defense, so on and so forth. I don't know, but That's a Disband are definitely playing better.
They're playing better, but let's go back to one of the crucial facts we know about Angry Titans. They are not playing with what we would consider their full strength. Ellie is absent at the moment. Is this what when we're starting to see where that lack of the right hand of God, shall we say, when we're referring to Lolsish, missing? Is it causing too much of a problem for Angry Titans to keep up in this?
We said that at the very start, and then IPN rolled Nepal single-handedly on the first round. So it's quite hard to write off and say that, you know, that potentially is a factor. It could very well be. But IPN looks like a very, very suitable for picking. I think it was just 4 or 5 days ago where they actually added him to the roster. And so far you can see exactly why, because his diva has been phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's going to be keeping on that again by the looks of things. I don't imagine he'll change that up. I do imagine, though, we'll see Mal's change off. He's being a little bit creative with the Symmetra pick. No one really takes that seriously at the moment. I'd be happy to be pleasantly surprised by someone bringing that out, having a fantastic performance on it. I just don't see it happening as he switches back to the Tracer.
Absolutely. Well, we've been talking about this Widow. We're seeing it coming out for Track so far. Again, curious to see who matches him on this one. AFOT's currently hovering over it, but of course we've got a few more seconds to see exactly what comes out of the gate for this one.
I don't see it.
I'm worried again, though, because Urki has picked up the Genji. Now, no flame, my friend. It wasn't so successful on Hollywood. We should try something else.
No, no. Urki's great on the Genji. He's just not good with the Dragon Blades. And that's the difference between them, right? So I'm happy for him to play Genji because he deals the damage. He gets those dash kills. He's able to finish him off with the shurikens. Got quite a good accuracy with it. But he just doesn't seem to land his Dragon Blades on that singular map, Des. We can't write him off just for Hollywood.
Should we just tell him to remove the Q key from his keyboard and then we're fine?
No. We just need to make sure that there's no objects in his way. Give him a clear path. Put him on the highway. No obstacles. None of these building blocks around him. But this is a very different situation we've seen on the previous iterations of Dorado, where teams have actually conceded a lot of the distance and allowed the aggressors to go into the market first, rather than putting up a fight.
Well, looks like there'll be no answer directly to the Widowmaker at this point. And they're quite contently stand there and take all the headshots. In fact, there we go. Urki getting dropped by Track from afar. Probably the Widow Mine bringing him down this time, so not really too much to worry about. He's going to bring IPN down. Make it only God. This guy is on fire.
Yeah, he's up on the high ground at the moment, drawing the attention of AFOX, and guess what? He's got Limit to back him up.
Absolutely, playing incredibly well for a starting point. And that's a disband. They let them push under the archway. It's not what we always see. In fact, we saw it from earlier from Giganti, pushing quite far forward, going for the full hold. These guys said, no, we play back. Let's let Track get some vision down where he gets these long angles all the way down. That is dreamland for him because if he gets those one-tap pickoffs, that's what he's looking for.
Well, he's got the hacks now so he can see what's going on. Getting a little bit of attention all from the back line. You can't poke like that when he knows you're already there. So AFox, be very careful with your head movements. We don't want to lose it. Mid-air snipe onto Lolsish. And Onigod, he takes down the opposing Winston as well. No monkeys around here. And here comes the Transcendence. Kassaws completely negates that, brings Limit back. And this fight still very much in control of that. So Disband, Angry Titans having to concede yet again.
Trying to find the ideal target. In fact, here we go. Okay, jump straight up there to try and contend against Trap, but so far unable to do much, while the rest of that's a Disband will clean house here. And either way, 1v1, still going to lose.
Track gets dislodged from his main position. He drops down and immediately pops Erky. This guy, like, people have been talking about his Widowmaker. Here is why you talk about his Widowmaker.
Look at this angle here. If he catches someone out here, oh, I was very much so excited then for a second thinking he would catch it out, but not quite going to be the case just yet. What you have to consider again is this is a pocket Mercy sitting on this Widow. We see it all the time these days. The thing is, they haven't even killed Track once yet. That Mercy res is going unused at
He takes out Onigod on Tracer straight away before the fight. Don't even see it. Transcendence being kept in that room. Their body blocking him, not letting him come out. He's finally found a way to weasel himself where the rest of his team is now. Lolsish got to kill. Erky down yet again. This is Track popping off on this Widowmaker. Mid-air snipe. He's having to back away. Where's the Mercy to come and give him a top up? Just recharge the batteries, let him go, and then force him out. He's going to try and keep taking the shots. Sound barriers keeping people through. But finally, AFox finds him. And now, going to get a resurrection. I think they were trying to get the res, and now they ended up launching them back. Angry Titans have control, and now they've got point A.
It took them quite a lot of time, but we were riding on that D.Va and the Winston getting into the backline with a Discord or combo to be able to bring down Track. And once he's gone, a lot of that damage from the backline disappears. Mouse is still harassing them, of course, on the Tracer, but it's that Widowmaker that was the big thorn in their sides. The number of times that he brought down Erky and Onigod on their entry to the point was insane.
The difference between Track on stage 1 and stage 2 is that now in stage 2, pretty much all the angles Track is going to get, he can be found by Onigod at his level because it's a position where they can climb up. Here's a Dragon Blade. Can Erky redeem himself? Straight onto Tri-Spear. He's also found Kassaws. 2 kills. That's the support she needs to get, deflecting all the damage. Erky's returning back to form, and he shows that Hollywood could be just a fluke.
Once you get rid of Track, then everything seems to go pretty well for Angry Titans. Let's see how far they can keep on pushing, mind you. 2 minutes 45 in the time bank. All sat on top at this point right now, and they're going to be able to push it forward quite freely. As a Disband, it feels like when Track dies, they do lose a bit of coordination and the kind of backbone of the team disappears.
That seems very similar to what we saw with like Team Singularity, wasn't it? We said when players get dropped, they seem to lose their main point of attack and they kind of falter a little bit. That could be the case with Track. Let's not use one instance as a correlation. Let's see where they go, but they're all putting it onto Track at the moment. They really don't want him to be showing off and popping off. And this is why the difference between stage 1 and 2 is for Widowmaker. More vulnerable. Limit gets the double Goomba stomp onto Lolsish and onto Onigod. And they're cleaning up yet again. That's Disband holding strong. 2 minutes left to go. And they're so close to forcing out stage 3.
Very deep push out here by that's a Disband as well. Literally trying to force them all back. Oh, the one tap onto AFox as well.
Disgusting.
That's going to be a horrible stagger for them to have to wait for now. 1 minute 50 left on the clock. And he had the Transcendence as well. The big thing about that last time round, though, was they had to burn the defensive ult from Tri-Spear just to keep Track alive. And they still managed to come away with 2 kills.
If you think it was dangerous for the Widow to be on the field now, she can just pop the wall hacks and then she knows exactly where you're going to be. I'd be so concerned about this. He knows exactly where it's going to come from. Instant dive. Nice little bit of micro there from Lolsish to turn his back as he dives onto the Widow. You don't want to be exposing your head. Lands, does the 180, comes back into attacking, but has to back away. Limit already onto AFox. So it's not even Track is the only one destroying these supports. There's also a little bit of Limit coming into it as well.
Track drops Erky yet again. This has probably been the 4th or 5th time this map so far.
We should be keeping track. This is one of the times we tally.
We should be keeping track, yes, absolutely.
I didn't intend that, but it also works. Yeah. Anyway, Track's going to have to grapple hook over to safety. He knows it's too aggressive of a position to take. Misses the shot, but the sound barrier is going to keep him alive. Immediately,
here we go.
You see IPN going straight for him to dislodge him. Also, Lolsish is popping the ultimate. There's nothing the Track can do. He's been shut out of the fight at the moment. Just need to find some angles as the self-destruct also clears the board. But while this is all going on, they've returned the favor and dived onto the back line of Angry Titans as well, shutting them down. There's the sustain. Get the wall hacks again. You need some more healing. The supports are all cowering with Track Track as their only defender while a Monkey is pummeling them to death. But Erky finds the supports again because Swords and Tri-Spear feel the taste of his blade, and finally he gets his revenge on Track as they're going to force out stage 3 of Dorado.
That's the kind of Dragon Blade I've been waiting to see out of him all afternoon long. Erky finally stepping up to the table and bringing down both the supports and Track. That's the kind of aggression that you want. And rightly so, Track thinks, right, they've caught on now. They've got the D.Va, they've got the Winston, they've got the Genji. All of them are diving onto me every time I come into view. In this case, let's switch off. Let's go for something more combat-based, up close and personal.
And now he's switching on to the Genji as well. We've seen what he can do on this hero earlier on in the series. It's not to be trifled with. In this final point where you've got lots of avenues to hide and dash behind, it could be perfect. And he knows he's getting too much attention with his Widowmaker right now. He's going to go aggressive. Erky forcing out a Transcendence early on as they're going really aggressive to force the Titans back out of their stage 3 area. With Barbie, he's exposed. The tasty little lobster is out of his shell. Will get dropped by Erky.
Really good play by Erky there in the backline, basically going uncontested and bringing down the key members. IPM finds Track, so not up to the most solid of start, but look at how much ult charge he's got from one life there. Erky, even with all that backline work, still does not have more ult than Track, so he has done big work in that life. Big question for me now is, can he get the ult in time to hold and save this point? Likelihood is yes, then the real big question is, what does he do with it?
Well, you got 45 seconds on the timer for him to prove himself. 3 people on the point, still moving it around. It's around that final corner as well, so they're on that home stretch to completing this map and having the option of additional rounds should it be matched.
Track goes out with the ult though, they're trying to drive into the backline. Can he catch him now? Going for the supportive back, but no, Erky will strike him down.
Here's a Dragon Blade of his own, ready to go if he needs to use it. Still trying to clear out some of the tankier front line, getting a little bit of lightning. Can he get the kill? He just dashes straight through him, and Barbie with the knockback shuts down Erky. There's the old Erky that we love and know at the moment. Pulse Bomb, sorry, defense, I'm messing up the ultimates now. Self-destruct going into the air as Onigod finds limit. And now they're still contesting over the payload, but that might have been enough by That's a Disband to shut down a full completion. IPN still whittling away with the turrets. He's been demeched. Now here a Transcendence coming in to keep him alive. A-Fox can't keep the mech alive, but he can surely keep the D.Va alive. Pulse Bomb thrown up, and it goes straight into the sky with the self-destruct. Can they clear him off the point long enough? No, overtime hasn't been going long enough. Now Coalescence to sustain and everyone. The kill feed comes out, but That's a Disband. It's only Luddy on the point. Overtime is surely going to whittle down, so they failed to complete, but it's only by a couple of meters.
Angry Titans getting pretty good there towards the end, definitely kind of coming more online once they figured out how to deal with Track. They had so much trouble on that first point. Second wasn't so bad for them because of the D.Va and the Winston diving into the backline. They made things look a lot easier for themselves. Third point, like you say, unfortunately couldn't complete, but they'll at least be feeling a bit more optimistic about it. Now the real question is, do we see Track go for that Widow once again? We've seen what he can do on the defense. Can he repeat that same kind of success on the offense?
Maybe. That remains to be seen, but That's Disband pretty much need to complete this map to close out this series and shut down any hope of a tiebreaker, then actually a series loss. They got the distance to go. Let's have a look at what Angry Titans are going to bring to the fold on their defense to try and stop this from happening and force out that 5th map. Luddy on the Mercy, A-Fox on the Moira, Lolsish on that Reinhardt yet again. Erky potentially looking for this far, and now him and Luddy could be a potential deadly duo coming into this map. Onigod on the Roadhog, so he's mixed it up yet again. And you get IPN on that classic D.Va.
I like how they've got the two facets of their comp here as well. They're going for the Pharmacy, and then they're going, of course, for the Moira with the 3 tanks sat in front just to hold the ground down while Erky does his thing. The problem is, you're disregarding the fact that Track played Widowmaker pretty much all of last round while you couldn't deal with him. You're now trying to bring a Pharah to the table. This isn't like coming into a Soldier like we saw with Team Vigility and Nil earlier on, where the Soldier got a bit of chip damage down, backed away, got healed, came back out again. This could be a one-tap headshot, in which case that whole damage side of your comp with Erky is completely shut off the table.
It looks like Track may be committing to this Widowmaker. Tri-Spear won't be on that Doomfist, I can tell you that for true. Maybe moving on to that Zenyatta, potentially. Let's see what he decides to go with, as they're holding back a little bit further as well. It seems to be a mirror of what That's a Disband did on their defensive rush, which is where they just play it back, let them get under the bridge, a little bit of market territory as well. You're not doing the fully aggressive hold we've seen in previous matches, but there's Track getting damage boosted, goes up high, takes a shot, gets defense matrix, or he just missed. But Erky's already found Mouse and forcing out a revive so early on into this round.
Bit of regression there maybe from Mouse. It's not really going to stint them too much, but that res down does mean they can't use it on Track if he finds himself getting picked off here. But they are now aware, so Erky is going to have to be incredibly careful of where Track is looking at any given time.
You don't want to run straight into that Roadhog. You can take a few shots at him, but if he hooks you, that's it. You're donezo, my friend. And now Track trying to find the angle. He knows Erky is around on this Pharah. They know it exists. He's just got to find a safe angle that can catch him off guard and either take out the Mercy, take out the Pharah, and make it a little bit easier. But you don't want to be in that bridge. The AoE damage is going to be too much. Drops a little bit too low for my liking. There's a flame strike from Lolsh to take out Limit. Now he's getting into the face of that Disband, trying to shut them down, and he's got the support of his team, hence why he's playing so low to the ground at the moment.
Angry Titans being quite stubborn yet smart about their defense. Erky is literally hugging this tower right now, so there is no angle where Track can spawn him, but Track is still getting the damage down. In fact, brings down IPM once he's out of his mech. The res once again, though, comes in to make sure that he stays in this fight.
But here's the thing, they play around the stairs. It gives them ample opportunity for the payload to be pushed, and it changes the game in terms of that angle being defensible.
Oh, look at this angle.
Yeah, he's got a little bit now. He just needs to pop off. Mercy really struggling there. Knows they have to reposition, so gets the poison grenade down. Oh, hook by Only God. Nice block from the defense matrix to keep him alive. Can't find the shot just yet. A little bit of a tag onto D.Va. Now the wall hacks. It's going to make it easier for him to spot out where this damage needs to go. Nice hold from Angry Titan so far, though. They're keeping him more locked down in this market area. 2 minutes 20 on the clock.
I've got to say, I'm really impressed by Erky in making this work with Luddy so far. They've lost literally nothing in this defense. I expect at least to go down once to Track, but Track, even with the ult, isn't able to find either him nor the Mercy. So he's not afraid. He's saying, I don't care if you've got a hit scan, my friend. I've got more than enough damage to stop this down. Here comes the ult from him, bringing down Kasaurus, and there goes the Mercy.
Barrage being used a little bit late on the Transcendence reaction, so he does get Mercy, but there's still enough support in the fight left alive. Luddy's going to revive him straight up. Track finally gets the kill he was looking for onto Erky, but he somehow got himself behind all the action. Catches him off guard. If you can't find the angle, why don't you just make a new one by breaking the game?
That's exactly what he did there. Again, turning that defense into the offense, and that works out wonders. But that's a Disband as they get all the kills coming through onto their side. They get the first point and they begin that push. Great hold coming out of Angry Titans, but again, as soon as a team adapts and figures you out, you're done for.
Mouse can go for a stagger here, but also Track, he's being very dangerous here with this angle. He knows the bubble's been dropped. 70% could be getting those hacks very shortly. Where is the pulse bomb from Mouse, though? He could use this in the right time. Look at how much damage that does. Takes it off, instantly demech by IPN, so now he's very fragile. He's got a damage boost coming out from Mercy as well, so that's a stagger in itself, taking D.Va out of that mech, making her vulnerable. Takes the shot, misses it by an inch. And it was Erky getting a little bit of a damage boost from Luddy. And they're up on the high ground with Lolsh. What can they do here?
They'll try and find a good pick, and the answer is going to be A-Fox there. So finally, we're starting to see him come into his own a little bit with some more of these picks, and the diving from the tanks will give him all the room he needs to start making more picks. However, doesn't need to make any because his team have cleaned up, except for the one onto IPN, and that's a Disband are pushing in towards this second point. They're going to have a good 5 minutes to push on towards the final point here, and we saw Angry Titans struggle. Will they struggle, or can they go all the way to the end?
Well, here's the thing. Track's setting up all the angles he wants. He's getting control of the positions he knows he would like to take. Only God, mixing it up, going on the Widowmaker himself. But now he's going to try and hold the angles that he knows he wants to take, and he can fight out Only God if he goes into them because he's already in position.
I've got to give props to Limit and Barbie. They are jumping straight into the backline onto anyone who dares even look Track's way. They are making sure he has the freedom to do what he needs to do. Mouse is exactly the same on the Tracer, and they find themselves at the second point with 4 minutes to play with.
They have very much control of this game. 4 minutes was a luxury that Angry Titans could ill afford coming into stage 3. They've got more time. They definitely have the momentum in this matchup, and by all accounts, they are rolling over the Titans. This is their game to take, barring any mistakes.
Let's not forget about Erky's Dragon Blazer. They've been warming up as the series has gone on. However, here it comes. Great tag across there from Track, and in comes the Genji. Will he be able to find anyone, though? So far, it's just Track with the kill.
Trying to get in there. No attacks coming out. Limit and Mouse shut him down together. Only God gets the D-Mech onto Barbecue. A lot of bodies on the payload at the moment. Angry Titans look like they're having control. Playing around this Winston bubble, they just get decimated. Mouse, only person alive, has a pulse bomb available. Probably doesn't want to use it in this particular engagement as he is so low. Does get the D-Mech. Crafty little Mouse as he walks away to get some support from his team. 40 HP, no stagger here today.
So this Disband are finally halted in their aggression. Angry Titans pulling things back together again. Almost got the Transcendence on side. Tri-Spearo's got his available, so they can go for the push on this if they want to, and they need to do it now before A-Fox gets his own ult.
Yeah, Only God, he just threw that pulse bomb. No kills to be found. A little bit of reset. Limit goes aggressive. He's going to kick things off, try and get this payload in motion as Luddy comes around the corner. Winston onto that, uses the Primal Rage, starts bashing around the fight, trying to create some chaos in the back line of that Disband, and A-Fox, he's the one to capitalize on it. Takes out Mouse. It's usually the other way around, so he's turning up huge. 5 HP for Lolsh, and he gets away to the safety of his team. Another stagger and another reset for That's a Disband.
This is what we saw out of That's a Disband earlier on against Angry Titans, funnily enough, was just constantly putting them on stagger, just picking off the members on Hanamura, chasing them down, and making them wait another 10, 15, 20 seconds to get the team back together. It's working here against That's a Disband, who have so far looked very strong, but now the track has come off of the Widow, things have definitely slowed down for them.
Well, Transcendence being popped in to keep them all alive. Track's right in the face of A-Fox. Should have been a kill there. Can't climb that last shuriken. And there was no one there to support him. But Mouse, he whips back around, does on cleanup duty in this confined space. Urki has to go down here. He has to switch around to Only God, though. Nice little distraction to keep him alive. Sound barrier for the rest of That's a Disband. And they are wiping Angry Titans and creating more space for them to move closer to victory.
Limit's ultimate is available as well, so they can force them back into spawn here if they want to. Track nearly getting picked off by A-Fox on the Zenyatta. They have that available. I was going to say they had the stagger available because of the Transcendence. He's now gone.
Dragon Blade is going to be crucial here for Track. If he can nail that with a pulse bomb. There you go. You hear the Japanese screaming. Can he find the kills? He finds Urki, shuts him down, but there's a lot of return coming from Angry Titans. Needs to do more with his ultimate if they're looking to win, and it seems to be pretty balanced. But Angry Titans, the spawn proximity is really playing into their favor, keeps them all alive, and A-Fox with a double will seal the deal. 1 minute, 20 seconds left for That's a Disband to complete this map.
1 more minute, one more go at this as well. Realistically, maybe get a second if they're quick enough. This fight can be slow. It depends how they want to play it, because A-Fox has got the Transcendence. They can stall here if they want to. That's a Disband. They've got to move very quick. They've got no ults available to play with either.
Well, there's the stagger. A-Fox also finds kill of his own. It's a 4v6. If they can reset quickly, they cannot lose any more men. They'll have one more shot at this. That's fine. They've got 50 seconds. They've got enough for another regroup push, but they've given away a lot of ult charge. A-Fox still got that Transcendence. Locious is about to get Primal Rage. These are stalling ultimates that they can call on if they need to. Angry Titans, they want to take this to the 5th map, and they've got one more hurdle to stop and beat this map out.
That's a Disband, yeah, looking to try and find what they can get from this track. Probably not going to be too close to his ult in these dying moments of the game. You're looking really to barbecue here, potentially with the self-destruct, being able to clear out, make space, and let the rest of his team just swarm in. I want to see more of That's a Disband that we saw on their defensive round, but as of now, it's not happening.
15 seconds on the timer. The go button is about to be hit, but That's a Disband. This is the decider to see if they can take this series now, or if they're going to go to that final map, and it's starting out slow. We don't want to make sure that everything pops straight away. Here comes the stalling ultimate, but Locious gets the kill. There's a return onto Mouse. Transcendence only being centralized onto a couple of members. This is the window they need. That was basically the trance that they needed on the side of That's a Disband, but they need to get kills now. Track so close to the ultimate. This has to be huge. He needs to get some healing from somewhere. Someone sustain him. There's the Dragon Blade. Finds something to kill. D-Meg onto his supports. Urki, he's found him. He gets shut down by Locious because the sound barrier comes out, but they're still fighting over this point.
But at this point, it's not going to matter. Ticks down, and Angry Titans will force it through to the draw. Finally, first 5 map series of EU Contenders.
We definitely said at the beginning this was going to be the game where it could result in that 5th game series. Of course, the tiebreaker map is going to be Oasis, so we're going to have to wait for that to get set up. No choice here about the teams. They're going to have to play a best of 3 to decide who takes the series, but at least they know they've both got 2 map wins under their belt, which is more than the losers of the previous 2 maps.
Well, let's rewind to remember what happened at the very first map on Nepal. Angry Titans with some crazy picks, but still took the map away. That's where some of the concern comes in for me. Will they repeat the same thing, or are we going to see that That's a Disband have learnt their lesson over time and can pull this one back?
It remains to be seen, but this, yeah, basically, it's a bit of a Moncast right now.
It is. It's very much so.
For both of these teams, I don't think they expected they would be going to the 5th game. It's a little bit of, it's where you kind of bury yourself deep, squeaky bum time, get yourself ready. It's all anxious, and you've got to control those emotions and have the mental fortitude to come through in this final map.
And let's rewind back to the earlier point we made. Both of these teams have come through from Path to Pro, and they are neck and neck right now. So you can probably see, again, that clash from 2 weeks ago going 3-1 Angry Titans' way. You can see how they're kind of level, the playing field has been leveled almost, and now they're at this point where they've got to really contend and show literally who can just edge above the other. If these teams have to play again at some point, of course, they went regular season. It could be in playoffs, it could be in anything, but it's looking very close.
But here's the thing: if you're Angry Titans and you lose out on this map, and you at some point play them again later on in the season, you're gonna have early vote back, and that's your full strength roster. On paper at the moment, would have to have some matches to back that up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will bring you the final map of this best of 5 series. Well, Des, I'm salivating at the mouth. It's finally here.
Coming good on your chin, mate.
Yeah, a little bit of a drip there. But we're here in game number 5 of a series. And this was always a potential across these series. We were hoping for it. We were begging for it. And it's Angry Titans. And that's a disband that finally delivered. And what a way to end the first day of the European season.
It's been a pretty neck and neck series, to be honest with you, back and forth. And for a moment, I think we both thought that's a disband would take that final map. But Angry Titans showing that defensive prowess to hold them at the very, very end, forces us to 2-2, and therefore into our first overtime of the European Contenders. And this, to me, it epitomizes the day. These are the two teams we looked at and went, right, both have gone through path to pro. They're both pretty neck and neck. Now's the time to prove who is going to be the successor.
But what a change of the tide we've had. We thought we were going to have Angry Titans being the leaders here, being the ones who are going to be, you know, forcing That's a Disband to really elevate their game and push against them just to survive in this series.
Their game?
No, it was elevate. Stop trying to look for stuff when it's not there, my friend.
It was halfway there, mate.
It was pretty much there, yeah.
It was.
But this is the thing, though. What I was trying to say before you rudely interrupted me.
Sorry, my man.
Was that we were originally pegging that it was That's a Disband that's got the uphill battle. But as the series has gone on, it's become apparent that it's Angry Titans who are really trying to have to keep their foot in the game. Could we see a sweep in the final game? I'm hoping it's going all the way.
Well, all the way really is 3 maps, so we're probably going to be forced to go to that. I imagine from what we've seen so far, like you said, for a while, That's a Disband kind of pulled back ahead, and in the final map, Angry Titans just kind of woke up towards the end and held them to a very, very close final map. To be fair, it was literally a few meters away from completing at one point, but they just couldn't quite get over the finish line, and OWC is going to be that tiebreaker map, a best of 3 to determine who walks away with the series win.
Beautiful sunset and a beautiful landscape to have completely decimated by the chaos and action of Overwatch.
But it's kind of a nice kind of a metaphor for the end of the day.
The sun is setting.
Yep, falls on the first day of Overwatch Contenders. Everyone is at peace with themselves except for these two teams.
And the flying robot. I'd be terrified if I was that. Just
knowing what's about to happen, the calamity that's about to descend.
Is that one of the spectators we just saw?
Maybe.
Potentially. We don't know. Let's find out. We're jumping onto one. Let's get these compositions going. So we have the triple tank coming out from That's a Disband being mirrored with the quad tank by Angry Titans.
So that Junkrat could be the big difference here. If Track can pull it off and get himself positioned well, that can be the difference in these fights. But already, Angry Titans shoehorning themselves here into a closed space. Got to force their way out at some point.
They're trying to take the interior rather than the staircase. But it's That's
nice
grab. Hook being pulled barbecue in. He's going to retreat behind the safety of Limit on this shield. And Lolsish, he's just swinging a hammer. Charge comes out a little bit early, causes the stun. Both of them drop down. And there's the Coalescence from A-Fox to cut through them all. Look how much charge Only God has got already. He's not got much of the HP, but he needs to jump into the fray. Coalescence being used on the other side. Earthshatter only finding a couple. Can it be enough for That's a Disband to maintain control? But Track and Tri-Spear, they make sure it is.
I was very worried coming into this map about Limit's Reinhardt. We've spoken before about how it hasn't always been as standout as we would like, and I was worried that his front line would drop essentially before Lolsish did, but no, they managed to catch them out, and a great Earthshatter comes through, catching the majority of the team, and That's a Disband take control.
Now it's really going against Angry Titans. They've lost control. They have to fight it back, and that's the story of this series for the Titans. They're having to keep fighting and fighting to get everything they need to stay alive in this game. Earth Shatter available from Lolshish. He's gone high. He's got no shield. He needs to find the perfect window to drop this down and pave the way for the rest of the Titans to get onto the point. But the more they keep being pushed back, the more That's a Disband grows their lead.
Keep on looking at track and keep on watching those grenades that keep on flying into Lolshish's shield. It doesn't matter how long he has it up for, it is going to burn down quicker than what limits will, purely on the basis that Junkrat's damage is doing a lot to these shields.
Here's the Graviton Surge, big bang in front of it. The shield might be able to hold it. There's the charge, but Barbecue only finds only God. And he demexed IPN with that as well. Now he finds Lolshish, and Tri-Spear comes in with the clean up duty. Nice hook from Urki. Doesn't matter much as he retreats into the spawn room. Too little, too late. This is an absolute stormer by That's a Disband.
Don't know where Angry Titans have gone. It feels like without the cheese, it's not going to work out for them. However, they have 6 ultimates on the board. This is their time to go and make a big play because it's now or never. They're at 75%, and That's a Disband are firmly in control, albeit with 1 ult.
25% been stalled out a little bit by the Riptide there. It's coming. It's looking for someone. It's bobbing and weaving, but Urki, he's the savior. Takes down Track's tire. Still sitting on this Earth Shatter. Not been able to use it yet. Find the window. He finds the gap, but it only gets onto Track. He stayed alive with the sound barrier. IPN takes down Track with the self-destruct sequence. Urki on the whole hog as well. The ultimates are all coming out from Angry Titans. If they don't cap it now, they're not going to cap it at all this round, but the kill feed blesses them this day. And they get a cap at 99%.
I would be very worried if the kill feed didn't bless you when you've used 5 ultimates to commit to a fight. They went all in and it's paid off for them. The real question now is that That's a Disband will be closer to those charges. I'm looking at Barbecue and Miles in particular. If they get towards those ults, they can make this big play, and they've got time to do it with.
Well, only got 52% at the moment, getting that charge up. Lolshish going head-to-head with his opposite man. Limit misses the charge. He starts to get the territory anyway, and they're going to break through this choke. Keep going, they need to be very careful. Lolshish been taken down the pit. That's a good window to capitalize, but That's a Disband. They need to go now while he's underneath. Hook pulls him away from the Graviton Surge. It's gone straight up at the moment. Where's the damage to follow up? But it's Lolshish just swinging away. And Angry Titans, they clear up That's a Disband yet again.
Lolshish clearly wanted to say, hey guys, did you miss me? If not, here's a hammer to the face to kill 3 of you. And now he's got the ultimate available as well. Things are looking great for Angry Titans. This essentially summarizes the series as a whole. It is so back and forth. That's a Disband looking strong at points. Angry Titans looking strong at others. It's so hard to determine who a winner is going to be.
I just imagine Lolshish stood there at the end of this game. He's going to do the salute from Mockingjay. He's going to do this for you, my buddy. This is you for Ellie Vote. We're going to keep going into this game. Earth Shatter comes out onto 3 members of That's a Disband, but guess who comes from their side to stop that from happening in its entirety? Afox with the Coalescence going to clean up the fight, and only God comes back. 70% and ticking.
But let's look at what That's a Disband have been doing for the last couple of fights. On Angry Titan's side, they've used a few ults in those last fights. That's a Disband have used nothing. They are emulating Angry Titan's strategy of stockpiling these ults and going for it all at once. They have 5 on the cards. Kasores still got a bit of work to do, but with 5, they can make a big play happen.
Well, we're on board with a tire. Let's see where it goes. Can it be a sneaky peeky like onto the back line? A little bit of a stagger. It has to go through the sound barrier, so you can forgive it for not getting kills, but you can't forgive Urki with the whole hog, shattering people into the condensed area. That's a Disband. They're still looking to find a control. They're getting the capture point going towards their way. But Angry Titans, they got the hold. Here's the disengage coming out with that Diva Bomb. Everyone has to retreat. They got the capture. Singularity, gonna hold them together. Where is the damage? It's still not there. And That's a Disband contending and holding on to this point. Huge charge onto Urki, and they bring out a Graviton of their own. Limit right in the face returns the favor that Lolshish set up earlier this game, and That's a Disband take round 1.
Great play by That's a Disband. That was literally an exact mirror. Saving up those ults, using all 6 in that final fight, that was what pulled it back for them. That's what we needed to see more of. Very weird that it took so long and both teams opted to go for the full 6 stack on ultimates before making the big play. But hey, can't fault the decision. It worked out amazingly for them in the end. And what's literally one play, one map, or match, or round, or whatever you want to call it, they are 1 away. This is the funniest thing. Literally, when we first sat down to start studying for this, we watched one of their games in Trials. What did we see Track play on this exact point? The first thing we saw was him on the Pharah. He played it incredibly. this could be the time where he goes, I am the difference between us and you, and I'm going to show you why we are the better team.
And it wasn't even a problem that the opposing team run that far, because the amount of direct and sky jewels he landed was absolutely everything to that matchup. So he's going to go at it again. See, he's already landed it onto Urki. He needs to be tracking down that Mercy instead, though. Going to keep the pressure on, looking for those directs, but he's just raining down the rockets at the moment. He's doing orbital strikes onto the ground and keeping Angry Titans hopefully at bay as the rest of that Disband looks to get a foothold in this round.
All about the Mercies in here as well and how long they can stand on them. He's going over the top to try and see what he can find. Urki, though, is much closer to his ultimate than what his comrades are at this stage. So, if he can get it available to him, it's a good clearer for the point. It's taking some good rain down from above, though. Managed to bring down the Winston.
Okay, you're cheating with the accuracy if you get a point-blank Winston. He's jumped up to you, having a little bit of a fight.
Oh,
But it's actually Urki who shuts him down. Cast the curse at work yet again. Mouse gonna get that pulse bomb. Where is the target for him? They're all jumping around at the moment. He can't reach that thing. Trace hasn't got that strong of an arm to launch it up into the air while this has all been going on. Angry Titans, being led by Urki's Farah, have shut down That's a Disband, and they're gonna get the first cap on this second round.
Time for a back away, and well, this is exactly how you would script a final, with Angry Titans undoing the reverse onto That's a Disband as what happened last round. They take this, we go all the way to that final map, and that is gonna be one nerve-wracking map for these teams.
You can feel it, the electricity in the arena, in the gardens of Oasis. And Track going for these jewels yet again. This jewel actually can be the decider for the rest of the map. He lands the first shot, but doesn't land. Oh, lands the second. Looking for the third, but the HP's already come out again. Track, stop it. You're too much of an animal with this Farah. You just need to actually make one that counts, get the kill. You've got the barrage. That's on rapid fire mode, and Coalescence is there to reinforce. Gets into his face, sound barrier, giving him the extra shield. Already whittled it down. Concussion blast to reposition. Limit, gonna find IPN, and he's gonna lock him round into the spawn.
Both Farahs have got their ultimates available here, and Track finally catches out Urki. He's free to use what he wants, and he will not use it just yet. But with Urki off the card, they get that aerial superiority. This should be That's a Disband's fight to take, as there is no one to contest him right now.
But here we go, uses the barrage, but it's only God from the side. You can't do it at ground level. You just let the Tracer come and wheel you down, and now IPN forcing back Mouse with the help of only God. Here's the hold from Angry Titans. They're looking to tie up Oasis.
That was really bad from Track. You should not be making plays like that, because that's going to cost you this point. You had the aerial superiority. There was no big panic to use your ult. Save it for another time. You gave only got 2 free kills there. They won a fight they should not have won realistically in a 5 versus 6, and now Urki has got his ultimate on side. Everything is going against That's a Disband, and a lot of it was from that last play.
We're back on board with Guns of Icarus. We're about to see a round end over as Track looking to take out Urki yet again. And now they're jumping up into the sky. Urki using the barrage. Track still able to evade it, and he uses the direct and the stationary advantage to clear out Urki. That's a Disband. Want to take back control. They're not ready to give up and force out the third round.
But they've still got to keep on fighting, because they're still trying to force these final members back. Finally, the recap comes through. Let's not forget what happened last time round when it came to this stage where it was 99%. The other team swung it all the way back around, and then the other team recapped in the dying moments to win the round. On that kind of circumstance, you would give it to Angry Titans alone, but That's a Disband, you can't write them off. Look at the ults they've got on side as well. They have shown they have got that prowess to be able to close this one out.
Ultimate's going to be a key factor here. That's a Disband. They've still got a long way to go to match Angry Titan's score on this map. 4 players on the point. Urki, he's off to the side at the moment. The Coalescence is going to help Mouse get that kill onto Lolsish and sustain the rest of the team. But Mouse, yet again, he's popping off on the Tracer in this final round. He needs to start making his own. It can't just be Track doing all the work as he's continuing to fight Urki. And now we're seeing it from the other side as Urki's the one taking the pressure. We see the rockets incoming rather than going.
He caught out Kasaurus there for a second as well, so that's what he'll be looking for once again. But the constant back and forth between these two. It's like they're playing their own game in the sky. There's 2 levels of Overwatch taking place here, the one on the ground and the one in the air. And you're never really quite sure which way it is going to go in the air. Track nearly has his ultimate available. Look how many they've got on side right now. Out comes the self-destruct, catches no one. There
could be a huge combo coming from That's a Disband if they play this right. But there's always the risk that if Track uses his ult too early, he gets picked off by Urki. So he needs to make sure he clears the skies. Make sure he's the only bird in the air. Urki's gone. This is the window now. Can he find the spot to use it? He might not need to, because That's a Disband have been rolling over Angry Titans. Pulse Bomb available for Mouse. He needs to find a ground floor target. IPN and Luddy, they're looking tasty for that Pulse Bomb if he wants to use it instead of trying to burst him down. Mercy has the drop, and IPN, with that support, takes down Mouse.
Angry Titans invested everything into trying to win that fight. That's a Disband have still got 3 ults on side, make that almost 4 with Tri-Spear's Coalescence. This is looking great for them. This is their time to close out a final fight and win the map altogether. Question is, did they throw it away like they did the last time they had an advantage like this?
They got a damage boost. Oh my god, he snuck up right behind Urki. No,
oh, he got it!
Here's the double direct, clears him out. Here's the barrage as well onto IPN. It doesn't matter, you get the mech, you get the mini, you get the Lolsesh. And Track put the team on his back. The overtime's about to fall, but they're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
They're all going down there. It's only God hanging around at this point. He's doing what he can, but I think that's going to be the end of him.
Only God can judge him now. That's a Disband, 2-0 on Oasis. They will take their first series of this tournament, 3-2.
We wanted that 5-game series, and we've got the 5-game series, and that was beautiful from Track. That's exactly what I was talking about. He didn't make the mistake of burning his ultimate too early. Last time round, Urki got 2 easy rockets while he was using his ult, but this time, he held, and then at the right moment, cleared out 3 members of the enemy team, including both tanks, by the way. They had nothing to basically to answer with. Beautiful play from him. That's what I wanted to see more of.
The game-winning play was the double direct onto Urki. He somehow snuck up behind him. Gets 2 direct hits, one after the other. No Mercy can sustain through that when it happens, especially because he's being damage boosted as well. Clears the skies, uses the barrage. We need to calm down. That's all it is from us today. We're going to throw it over to our analysts to break down the series and let you know what they think about that match.